What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, once again. So, we got some more titillation for the great unwashed masses right now regarding Francis Ngannou, aka Mbonga, and the bronze bomber. Yeah, the bronze basketball player Deontay Wilder. It's being slated. They're fixing to. It says here Francis Ngannou and Deontay Wilder in talks for heavyweight showdown. Now, I don't know what Wilder. Well, listen, Wilder. Did he fight in June? You know, it was woeful, wasn't it? Proper painful. It's crazy. When I was younger, 10 years ago, and you hear people say, "Oh, this fight is shot." You watch old tape, you don't really appreciate it. But when you've watched someone's career in lifetime, shot does exist. Namely, Dillian White right now. I've watched him come up and never had the best chops, but still, maybe a time was that good. But anyway, the point is, Wilder certainly, man. Oh my, he's finished, isn't he? Proper finish. From what I saw in that, it was really bad. That was like the equivalent of Dillian White versus Tete. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, yeah, you're only young once. That's the truth. Now, does that mean you want to get your head knocked off? No, but there's like a little, not non-serious, well, I guess you could call it non-serious. There's a little thing building up now, and I'm going to give you some names. I'd completely forgot about Wilder and Ngannou. You think about Dillian White. Who ain't going to watch Dillian White and Wilder? Yeah? Who ain't throw Joe Joyce in there? I'd like to see Joe Joyce get some of these opportunities. Yeah, because he's slow, which makes it fun. As painful. I don't want him to be slow. I don't want him to get hit. But if he's going to fight anyway, whether I want him to get hit or not, right? So if he's going to fight anyway, he might as well get weighed in. I'm not even sure he get Wilder versus Joe Joyce or Joe Joyce versus White. Ngannou. You can mix up them four men. Ngannou, Wilder, Joyce, White. You can mix them up anyhow, and we're watching. Do you understand? Obviously, Joyce doesn't have a name like a Ngannou or a Wilder. That's fair to say. Neither does really Dillian at this point either. So it probably makes sense. Ngannou and Wilder, White and Joyce, which perfect. Because Wilder and Ngannou is more the USA market. And then you got the British one, Joyce and White. But these men do have value still. Now, do you want to see him get in there with Caballero? No. But there's still something there. And if you've spent 10, 15 years of your life building something, building your name, I guess, listen, Wilder's probably got 20 mil in the bank. Yeah? I haven't heard that he's known for putting his money up his nose, so that's a good trait to have. But although I have heard he's got that Mandinga breeder gene in him, where he does like the brass, he likes the women. So that can, listen, don't take long, mate. Do you know how quick you can get to broke? Half in your net worth. It don't take that long. From 40, you could have reasonably. I've seen some of these cats, they've had like 6 marriages or whatever. Bosh. Yeah. He'll be fighting until the skin falls off his feet, man. If he keeps messing with them ATO hoes, man. That's what you best believe. They ain't playing. They play for keeps out there. For real. So, but yeah, reasonably, that's the thing, I guess. I don't really need to fight. I've got 20 mil. But he's knocking around anyway. Listen, Wilder, let me tell you something, man. You're not rebuilding off that last fight. Your best bet is just to go in there and have fun fights. Have fun. Go in there with Ngannou, swing your hands, get clipped or clip him. Forget, there's no rebuild coming. You're not learning no more skills now. You're literally go in there with what you know and commit to it. Because confidence, not that I apply this in my own life, but theoretically speaking, confidence is within us all. There's nothing to say you can't just believe in yourself. Obviously, it's easier to do so when you've had recent experiences. But recent experiences, those are just, there's nothing inherently valuable about them. That's where you get used car salesmen from, right? They can just sell you shit. Do you see what I mean? There's nothing, you can just do that. You can just be that guy. You can just be, you know what, I'm letting my hands go. Most humans require a reason why, i.e. I need to pay my bills, I need to get my money, I'm broke. But that is just a mindset, that's all it is. Obviously I haven't applied it in my own life, so it sounds good, right? But again, I ain't got the opportunity, yeah? When I was swimming, yeah, if I had the opportunity to make big shmoney, I don't see why you don't have a go. If I'd have made 20 mil though, do I still want to get in there and have a go? Probably not, it was hard. It's hard being tired on your feet. I think boxing's a little bit different though, man. If you're a big puncher, it's a bit different. In swimming, you've got to get in there, yeah. And it's like, let's say you're doing a 400 metres, which takes about 4 minutes. After 2 minutes, you wouldn't believe how much you're... Oh, fuck it, man. After about a minute, you're burning. And it's like a mental thing where you got to just keep pushing no matter what. I guess boxing's the same. But in my little experience doing boxing, it's different. You have to carry on. You're forced to carry on. Does that make sense? Well, there's more force in you to carry on, i.e. you have inherent motivating factors within a boxing match. I don't want to get hit. If you're swimming and you're burning, you're dying, you think, I can't really be arsed for this. It's not like you're going to get hit in the face. You just jack and then you lose, whatever. You go and plus you ain't making no money either. Yeah? If I know I can knock someone's head off and get 10 mil and roll that into the next fight, that's, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's easy for me to say I haven't been there. But Wilder just needs to let his hands go, man. Get his chin down, get his head down here, and just let it off. Like all these guys, really. Dillian, did he have a go with Moses? Listen, that's what I'm saying. He's never going to be able to have a go with Moses. But he could have a go with Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce could have a go with Dillian White. Wilder could have a go with Ngannou. We've seen Ngannou hit with Wilder's favourite party trick, the right hand. Yeah? These things, it sounds cliche, and I never really used to believe in the whole mental rubbish. And I still don't to some extent. I still believe it's binary. You choose to do something or you don't. Yeah? That is the bottom line. I tell Wilder right now, you're going in there to do him serious harm, and that's the end of it. Yeah? You're coming in, he's not going to be tight, but you're coming in relaxed here, head down, like that. Head down, relax, and just lay it off. Just lay it off, man. Just lay it off. 1, 2, just lay it off. That's how I train. I tell Wilder, listen, man, this is what we're doing in a fight. In that first round, we're letting off 10 1-2s no matter what. That's what we're doing. We're letting it off with bad, nasty, wicked intentions as well. Maybe not 10, but 5. Every round, at some point, you're letting the hammer off 5 times per round. That's what you got to do. Psychologically, get that into your head. All I have to think about is getting this off and committing with it. Yeah? Okay, man. It's not, it's why you're not in there. You're not in there. I just don't see why not, though. Ngannou, well, what's he been doing? March 24. That's what, 18 months? I don't know where the time goes, man. Yeah, I don't know where the time goes. And that's the problem with these guys that got all the money, man. Back in the day, like the 1950s, even the top boxers, they made good money, but it wasn't like this kind of money. It wasn't, I can now retire after one fight type money, I don't believe. It was a good wage. You're probably in the 1%, but most people in the 1%, they can't stop working. They're making, like, I don't know, $250 a year before taxes. I think it is. Let's have a look. But it's something like that, 250 or 400 a year before taxes. After taxes, it's like 200 grand. So what are you going to do with that? You got to work, right? You're taking home 200 grand after taxes. You've got to pay your rent, your bills, you're working, basically. You'll be doing that to the feet falls off your skin as well. Obviously, you can save and you might be able to retire when you're 50. But still, you're going to be an old dog by... Listen, 50's old, man. I'm going to tell the truth right now. You're washed up at 50. Yeah. You're washed up at... You're finished at 50, man. That's the God's honest truth. Let's call a spade here, man. Yeah, let's call it a spade. You're finished at 50. Financially, you can be doing well, but... Come on, your back's hurting and you're bulbous and... Yeah? You're jaded from wage slaving in whatever form or fashion. Yeah, your barnets all fell out because you've been stressed to make the 200 grand a year after taxes, etc., etc. These, man, they're not athletes. I'm going to tell you now, athletes get a lot of prestige for what they do. Athlete's life isn't hard. That's the truth. Athlete's life is the best life you can wish for. Athlete's life is actually very close to almost the raiding lifestyle from ancient times. but you've got all the benefits. Like, you're not having to chop someone's head off, and you're not having to potentially have your own head chopped off to obtain wealth. Yeah? You go out, you raid one night, and you come home and you chill out. The training part, who gives a fuck, man? No one cares about that. A couple of hours a day training, no one gives a fuck. The masses have to do that on top of wage slaving for every hour God sends. Athletes have the best lifestyle. They ain't stressed at all. Most of the times you find these athletes cats like Wilder. Oh man, y'all, woo-de-woo, y'all. Betrayal, y'all. But she betrayed. That's the kind of... They have social problems. It's not hard problems. It's not, oh, shit. My bills is due and I blew it on Betfair. They don't have them kind of problems. I guess you could be on the sniff. But even then, a lot of the rich cats who get on the sniff, you can't sniff. Look at McTapper. I don't believe McTapper could ever sniff his money away. Yeah, it'd be very hard for him to sniff all of his money away. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be a proper melon to pull that off. Yeah, because think about it. Let's say you've got 10 mil in the bank, which McTapper has a lot more. But for example, 10 mil in the bank, that's 500 grand a year coming in. Cash. Call it 400 grand a year after taxes. How do you blow that? That's a kilo a month. No, it's not quite that, but half a kilo. You can't do half a kilo in a month, man. Can you? You can't do half a kilo in a month. Can you? Let's call a spade. How you can do that? How you can do 15 gram a day? I don't know. If anyone would know, but even then, that's not much. Anyway, man, we're getting into a mad thing here. The point is, their life's easy. Yeah? Okay, you've had 30 fights. 30, 40 fights. Most of them were bums. These are the hard fights Wilder's had. Fury 2, Fury 3. And that's it, basically. Yeah? And maybe Ortiz, if you want to throw that in there. Was it hard? You didn't really get battered in there. Fury 2 and 3, I'll call them fair enough. You've had 2 hard fights in your life. You know what I'm saying? With gloves on. And can Fury punch? Fury couldn't stop Chisora. Yeah, he couldn't stop him. He went life and death with him. He stopped him, but it was a compassionate stoppage. It wasn't Chisora's knocked out spark. So Fury can't really punch like that. Yeah, he's had 2 hard fights. At the end of the day, he just needs to screw his head on, which has been lost. That's a documented fact. Once you lose your head, it don't matter how much money you got, but you can just wake up in the morning and think, this fucking idiot's getting it. You can, right? Am I wrong here? You can just wake up and say, you're getting it today. That's what's missing, I feel, often. But it's not as simple as that. The other argument is, well, why? But it's all well and good saying you're getting it, but there's other factors to consider, like your cardio. You go in there letting your hands off, and then you're puffing after 6, and you're in trouble. Well, it's bad intent. That's what they call it, bad intentions, man. You haven't got to go buck wild like Whittaker versus Cameron, but you got to have, you know what I mean? You're a proper stiff idiot UFC wrestler. You're getting it. That's what you got to do. Just flick that switch, go in there, lay it off. But yeah, listen. Being finished, it might be more than just a mental thing. Maybe physiologically. Remember Evander Holyfield? I was thinking about that when I saw Dillian White. Remember Holyfield versus Vitor Ortiz? Yeah. It don't matter how much Evander Holyfield wanted to do anything. Does that make sense? He was like, he was an old man, but that's different. Holyfield was like 65. That's completely different, to be fair. But if you're shot, right? I mean, it wouldn't really matter, necessarily. I've seen somewhat young NFL heads, they bug out and they cap themselves and whatnot. Because their head's been rattled too many times, and there's been a few examples where they've capped themselves in their heart and they've written a little note saying, study my brain. I heard about that. But anyway, man, I've faffed around here a lot. I want to see the fight, bottom line. Let's get these guys active. These cats build a name, yeah? And then they just disappear. How many big fights has Ngannou had? He fought Stipe once, Stipe twice. And then Gan. Stipe 1 was when he broke onto the scene. Well, he had a run up, he knocked out a few bums, but that Stipe 1 fight he lost, that was big, his first title shot. Then he beat Stipe, then he fought Gan. And then what's he been doing? He fought Fury, and there's a few in there. He's older now, isn't he? But it's like, you might as well make the most of it, no? I don't think that's probably the issue here. maybe we don't want to see these guys fight, because the reality is they just want to come back for the money. If you've sat around for 18 months, and I think Ngannou's like 40 anyway, if you've chose to sat around for 18 months, you're probably just getting greedy now, thinking, oh, I could do with some more money now. You're not really hungry for it. A hungry fighter, win, lose or draw, would want to be out in the next 6. So they're just pocket chasing. I don't know, man, whatever. Let me know your thoughts. Check out my Patreon, man. Hoopty whoop. We got 200 exclusive Kabbalah expose videos here, man. All the boxing breakdowns where we don't get jade by the copyright cabal. So check them out, man. We got all kind of thing on here, man. Don't play with me, man. Look at this here. Look, we got more GOY slop for the Great and Wash. This video's going out soon, and you best believe it, man. It's X-rated, and there's no doubt about it. Smash the like button, Johnny.